Hello and welcome back to I Am Movies. At the beginning of the movie, we learn that a dangerous virus called necroambulist is turning people into zombies. It has spread in Western American cities, where many people in the city are infected. Even after a month, the government claims they're trying to stop the virus. We then introduce to Wade, a father who's desperately searching for his daughter Maggie. We learn that her daughter got bitten by a zombie, and she insists that he shouldn't look for her because she left home willingly. Meanwhile, Maggie gets captured by soldiers who believe she's infected and take her to a hospital. Wade, still searching for his daughter for 2 weeks, ends up at the hospital. He starts seeking information about his daughter and learns from a nurse that she's been admitted there. A doctor informs Wade about Maggie's condition. Maggie has been bitten by a zombie and is in the early stages of turning into one herself. She hasn't started feeling hungry yet, but when she does, she'll act like a zombie. It's crucial to quarantine her. However, following a senior doctor's recommendation, they allow Maggie to leave with her father. Wade reunites with Maggie, and they depart. On their way home, they run out of fuel and stop at a gas station to refuel. While Wade is busy filling up the tank, Maggie exits the car. Maggie heads towards the store despite her father's objections. Ignoring him, she goes inside. Wade reluctantly follows her, and when they enter, they find the cashier missing. As they explore further, a zombie suddenly attacks Wade. But he manages to defend himself and kill the zombie. He quickly reunites with Maggie and urgently insists that they need to escape immediately. The two of them rush back to their cars and speed away from the danger. Maggie's stepmother, Caroline, was busy packing clothes for her other 2 children, Molly and Bobby. She is sending them to her sister Linda's place out of fear that they might also become infected like Maggie. After a while, Maggie and Wade finally arrive home. Caroline doesn't seem pleased to see Maggie. Bobby approaches Maggie and questions her about whether she's sick, mentioning that one of her school friends got infected and turned into a zombie. Maggie responds by saying that she used to feel pain earlier, but not anymore. In the next scene, Wade takes Bobby and Molly and leaves them at Linda's house. It becomes clear that Maggie and Caroline don't get along, which leads to Maggie not agreeing with anything her stepmother says. Later in the evening, Wade returns home and invites Maggie to join them for dinner, but she declines, claiming she's not hungry. During this time, Maggie questions why he has been searching for her for the past 2 weeks. Wade explains to Maggie that he made a promise to her dying mother to always protect her and be a responsible father. This convinces Maggie to join them for dinner, although she doesn't eat anything. During dinner, Caroline notices Maggie's wound and questions why he hasn't applied a bandage. This comment upsets Maggie, who abruptly leaves the table. Caroline is left feeling sad as her attempts to connect with Maggie continue to be strained. Wade reassures Caroline that things will eventually get better. At night, Maggie tries to contact her friends but can't reach anyone. Meanwhile, Wade sets fire to the field outside their house to prevent zombies from approaching their house. The next morning, Maggie is outside on a swing, but she starts experiencing visions of zombies, a reminder of when she was bitten. Terrified by these visions, Maggie cowers in fear. Caroline rushes out of the house and notices that Maggie's infected hand's finger is broken. Caroline brings Maggie inside the house and sees black blood flowing from her broken finger. Caroline urgently calls the doctor. Meanwhile, Maggie, terrified by the sight of the black blood and the pain in her hand, cuts her finger with a knife, causing her hand to bleed profusely and intensifying her pain. In panic, Maggie rushes towards the nearby forest and cleans her hands with soil from the ground. It's there that she spots their neighbor Nathan and his daughter, who have become fully turned into zombies. This sight fills Maggie with extreme fear. Fortunately, Wade arrives and instructs Maggie to return home. Wade tries to communicate with Nathan and his daughter, but they don't respond or understand anything. Reluctantly, Wade is forced to defend himself by attacking and killing both of them with an axe. At night, a police officer named Ray, who is also Wade's good friend, pays him a visit. Ray shares that even after Nathan was bitten, his wife didn't quarantine him at home. Wade emphasizes that nobody can take Maggie away without his consent. Ray, concerned, remarks that whatever happened with Nathan shouldn't be repeated with his daughter. Later that night, Wade hears a noise outside the house and grabs his gun before heading out. Outside, he finds Nathan's wife, Bonnie. She came to inquire about Maggie's well-being. Bonnie begins to recount her family's story, explaining how her infected daughter has bitten Nathan while taking care of her. One day, Nathan abruptly locked the house and fled with their daughter, Jessie. Learning about this, Bonnie was heartbroken and cried throughout the night. Bonnie expresses her desire to see Nathan and Jessie one last time, and Wade takes her to their bodies. Seeing the condition of both Nathan and Jessie, Bonnie becomes extremely saddened and begins to cry. The next morning, the police arrive to collect Nathan and Jessie's bodies, and they take Bonnie into custody for hiding his family's condition from the authorities. Wade is deeply disturbed by the condition of Bonnie's family and worries about his own family's future. Later, Wade receives a call from Dr. Vern, who asks him to bring Maggie to the hospital for a checkup. During the examination the following day, Dr. Vern notices that the infection in Maggie's hand is worsening. In a private conversation, Dr. Vern informs Wade that Maggie's condition is deteriorating rapidly. She will soon stop eating and drinking and begin to behave like other zombies. When asked how to prevent the disease, Dr. Vern suggests quarantine or administering a painful vaccine at home. Wade decides against quarantining Maggie and takes her back home. That night, they had a cheerful conversation about Caroline. Wade is overjoyed to have Maggie back. While working on the car that night, Wade begins to share stories about Maggie's mother, recalling how she loved reading books and spent most of her time immersed in them. Later that night, Maggie experiences pain in her hand, and some insects start emerging from her wound. She becomes extremely upset but keeps this distressing development hidden from Wade and Caroline. The following night, Allie, Dr. Vern's daughter and Maggie's childhood friend, pays Maggie a visit. During their conversation, Allie invites Maggie to a college party. Initially hesitant, Maggie changes her mind upon learning that Trent, her ex-boyfriend, will also be attending the party. Once at the party, Maggie reunites with her friends and discovers that Trent has also been infected, although he hasn't fully transformed into a zombie yet. Trent shares with everyone that going into quarantine after getting infected is a terrible experience because nobody takes proper care of them there. And after becoming zombies, they start biting each other. It would be better if he shot himself and became free from this world. Now everyone becomes very emotional after hearing these things from him. While Trent is alone with Maggie at the party, he confesses how he got infected. He had gone to meet his infected friends, who ended up infecting him. When Trent's father found out, he was forced to shoot one of his infected friends to protect him. During this emotional conversation, Maggie and Trent share their feelings and kiss each other. After the party, Allie drops Maggie off at her house. A few days later, Maggie's eyes started turning white. She sees Caroline, but then begins to smell food. She informs Caroline, but Caroline says that Wade must be cooking something in the kitchen. However, when Caroline checks, she realizes that Wade is not in the kitchen, leading her to the distressing realization that Maggie is beginning to turn into a zombie. Fearing for her safety, Caroline grabs a pair of scissors while preparing an eye drop for Maggie. Maggie puts the eye drops in her eyes. Shortly after, she receives a call from Trent, who informs her that he has locked himself in a room and is refusing to come out. Maggie rushes to Trent's house where Trent's father is holding a gun in front of his room. Maggie then pleads to him to open the door, but he only utters her name and says he can smell human blood. He doesn't want to pose a threat to anyone. After that, Ray arrives with some police officers at Trent's house to take him to quarantine. Trent resists, but is forcefully taken away. Trent's father remains hopeful that the quarantine will help him recover. In the next scene, as Maggie returns home, she hears an animal's sound from the forest. She quickly retrieves a gun, ventures into the forest, and discovers a trapped fox. She attempts to free the fox, but cannot resist the urge to attack it. When she returns home, there's blood on her face, indicating that Maggie has consumed the fox's blood. Seeing the blood on her lips, Wade questions Maggie about what happened. She explains that she initially wanted to help the fox, but when she saw its condition, she couldn't stop herself. Caroline suggests sending Maggie into quarantine, but Wade is not willing to consider that option at this time. Wade then goes to the forest and puts the trapped fox out of its misery, shooting it with his gun to prevent it from becoming an infected animal. The next morning, Caroline insists to Wade that they must send Maggie to quarantine. However, as he has done before, Wade refuses. In response, Caroline decides to pack her things and leaves for her sister Linda's house. The following day, while Wade is chopping wood, Ray and Halt pay him a visit. They inform Wade that Maggie must leave their home, and he must comply with their decision. Wade adamantly refuses to let Ray see Maggie, which infuriates Halt. He charges toward the house, prompting Wade to use his axe and temporarily subdue Halt. In the struggle, Maggie intervenes and stops the fight. She assures Ray that she is fine now, and both Ray and Halt decide to leave. As they depart, Ray tells Wade that he still has time to reconsider sending Maggie to quarantine. The next day, Wade takes Maggie to her mother's garden where daisies were planted, which Maggie loved dearly. Seeing the garden makes Maggie very happy, and she expresses her gratitude to Wade. Maggie then requests that if she ever loses control, Wade must stop her. Despite his reluctance, Wade reluctantly makes this promise to her. At night, Wade meets with Dr. Vern, who has come to administer a vaccine to Maggie. However, Vern advises against using the vaccine because it's too late and won't have any effect on Maggie anymore. Instead, he suggests using a gun. Meanwhile, Maggie talks to Bobby and Molly on the phone, expressing that she will always miss them. Later that night, when Wade enters Maggie's room, he discovers her lying unconscious on the floor. He tries to wake her up, but Maggie suddenly begins to attack him like a zombie. Wade does everything he can to calm her down and bring her back to consciousness. Realizing that Maggie's condition has spiraled out of control, he carefully places her on the bed and monitors her from outside the room throughout the night. By the following morning, Maggie had fully transformed into a zombie. Maggie makes her way downstairs, her skin drab and her eyes darkened. She notices her father asleep with the revolver in his hand. She walks over to him thinking that she will bite him, but instead kisses his father's forehead one last time. She then climbs to the house's roof and thinks about her mother. Maggie leaps from the roof, and the last image she sees is herself as a kid picking up a flower and playing with her mother. As the story comes to a close, we cannot deny a father's unconditional love and sacrifice for his daughter in the face of adversity. The movie ends here. Thank you for supporting my small channel. If you like this video, share and like to help this channel out. Thanks for watching and see you at the next one.